Well, welcome back to this third and final of three parts at the digital job site, working out some tile layout issues for a rather complex floor layout area. In the previous sessions, we created a floor plan area, we created a tile component, and then overlaid the tile component on the floor plan areas. And in the time out there, I cleaned up extra tiles, full tiles that wouldn't be involved in covering this floor area. I repositioned the tile in this master bathroom area to line up one tile in the corner, and then cleaned up tiles that wouldn't be used there. And in the process, I just took out all the full tiles, and depending on the layout, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of a couple of these. This might be barely a snippet of a tile in that corner. Another one like this, probably we don't need to count that one because that little corner tile piece there would just come from a scrap. And you can use your situation to decide how big of or small of pieces you want or don't want to be included in your layout. But with this count of tile, this shape, this number of tile with an 1/8 inch grout joint would cover. And so the nice part about SketchUp is if I want to know how many tile this takes, I can just circle or select around this master bath floor tile area. And in the first step, I created this extra tail of a line out here. And the reason I did that is so that I want to select just the tile and not the group of geometry that includes the floor, which happens if I include the whole area around it. It'll include the group of the outline as well as the tile, and I just want to get the tile. So when I've done that, and I right click the selection and then choose Entity Info, a little dialog box pops up, and it's telling me what's in that group, except I want to know, I'm going to explode that group so we come up with the individual components. Okay, now when I do it, it's telling me, if you look up here in the Entity Info box, that I've selected 37 components out of the 216 that are in the model. When I do the same thing over here, I get the other 179 components of the 216. You can see if I select them all, we get 216 components of 216 in the model. And so with those simple calculations, or that simple bit of work, I can decide how many tile I need to buy to do this job. And like I said, if you're comfortable with margins, you could say tiles like this, okay, I'm going to have over half a tile for scrap, and I could use those over here. And you could add or eliminate tile according to your comfort level with what you're going to have for scrap and waste in general. Another thing you can do with this is compare how many square feet all these tile components will cover. You can take the individual area for one tile and calculate how many square feet that is, and then how many tile it involves with this 216, and then you can compare that to this actual square footage. And you can determine a good choice of quantity for the tile. I found that fairly beneficial on this one. Another little benefit here, I'll do it on the small section, but on this particular job I actually chose to do a half bond tile layout for the job. And to show that, I've just selected every other row of tile here, and then I want to shift these over in the red axis direction, and I want to go 6 inches and 9/16, which would be a half bond. And so with those keystrokes, I can then see how the cuts will work around the edges if we did a half bond tile layout. Another thing you could simply do with this situation is you could lay out just a rectangular grid of tile like we started off, and choose a rotate tool, and then at some point you can just click this and rotate it 45 degrees or anything that floats your boat, And you can see with the filled-in tile, we could go through the same operation and determine how many tile and what sort of layout would benefit the positioning of the tile, etc. And this is without snapping lines on floors and doing a bunch of measuring and layout. This will take you a long way towards figuring layout and planning your tile job for quantities, etc. And I think that you can extrapolate the ideas here if a person was to take and get some other modular tile, say 12 inches by 12 inches, and then there's patterns that have various sizes of tile that lay out together. This is a couple of 6 by 6 patterns, and we can duplicate that, rotate it 90 degrees, and then move these tile. There's all different kind of tile patterns and layouts, combinations of this sort of thing that a person can do. And you can see how with the component method you can quickly create this pattern, duplicate it, lay it out, and do any kind of maneuvering or shifting that you'd like to do. And it makes it pretty simple to kind of flesh out the concept of layout and quantity for tiles. And I guess it goes without saying that with the SketchUp materials, you can go in and you can color the tile. If you want to get real specific, you can color the grout joints. You can get pretty realistic with this stuff if you want. You can have alternate colors of tile to see what patterns would look like, that sort of thing. I think you can relatively easily see the advantages of working on layout with SketchUp. Thanks for watching the Digital Job Site. Hope this helps you in your project planning. Thanks for watching.